It is a common adage that apples don't fall too far from the trees that bears them. In most cases, you get to find out that we are relating today with people who are very close to us, the way we also had relationships growing up, except there is a change in orientation, a change in disposition, and of course, a change in action. One of the family backgrounds that destroys our potential to relate effectively is called the controlling or authoritarian family background. The family where there's so much of rules and regulations, but no relationship. A family where there's so much of control, so much of fear. There's so much of perfectionism. A family where you're expected to be nothing short of perfect. A family where there's rules for everything. A family where there's regulations to the highest order. I'm talking about a parenting style that is nestled in rules, regulations, no relationship. Excessive demands without a sense of recourse to the children's capacity to respond. It's not every family that has rules that is dysfunctional, but a dysfunctional family background with controlling and authoritarian tendencies has rules, has regulations, but no relationship. No sense of empathy, concern for the feelings, the emotions, the pains of the children. The parents will rather be feared than loved. And they love it when the kids fear them than the kids loving them. This is a family where there's so much of boundaries without belonging. It's the kind of family we're talking about. It is very true that control produces obedience, but it rarely produces maturity. God never intended that we should raise our children with control. It was the desire of the Almighty God that we cultivate them. It was a desire of the Lord that we nurture them, we train them. And training is not the same as control. It is a home where power is valued above relationship. Obedience is valued above understanding. Just do what I told you to do. You don't need to understand it. Just obey me. Questions are considered to be challenged. It looks like you're challenging authority. To say, Daddy, why should I do that? Looks like you're challenging authority. So your performance is more important than your personal development. A demand is placed on you without the concern whether you can perform or not. Whether you will be performing and getting the result at a serious expense is of nobody's concern. So we have discovered that authoritarian parents raise what we call compliance children, but not necessarily emotionally matured adults. What are some of the ways by which you can know that a family is authoritarian? Number one, in such families, there will be rules, there will be regulations without relationships. Children obey out of fear, not out of love. Rules may control behavior, but it is relationship and understanding that transforms character. It is very true that rules can cause there to be conformity, control behavior, but it is relationships and understanding that brings about the transformation of character. Telling a son what to do without why is the reason why doing it will not be for a long time. Understanding why is what propels what we call intrinsic motivation. The desire to do it comes from within, not extrinsic motivation, which is usually because I'm afraid of dad, I'm afraid of mom, I'm afraid of the consequences. So I'm doing that because of fear. Number two, demandingness without responsiveness. Demanding things from children without a recourse to whether they have the capacity to respond. Parents demand excellence but offer little encouragement. Failure is magnified. Success is minimized. Your feelings are dismissed. That's what happens. Number three, excessive control without trust. Parents monitor every aspect of the child's life. Excessive control, no trust. What are you doing in the room? What are you doing there? What are you having here? That's just the child just feels nobody trusts me. I am not allowed to function in a way that demonstrates trust to my parent or competence to my parents. My competencies are doubted. My abilities are doubted. Everything about me is doubted. Number 4 mark is harsh discipline without grace. Discipline is driven by anger rather than love. Punishment outweighs instruction, and mistakes are treated as crimes. So you don't want to make a mistake because it will be treated as a crime. So you either don't do it or you want to overdo it. You are punished for something you did, but here's the problem. The punishment outweighs the instruction. And you are wondering, is it for this little mistake that I made that I'm receiving all of this punishment? Number 5, there's what we call fear-based parenting without security. In order to create order in the family, fear must be in place. So fear becomes the tool that we use to create order. If these children are not afraid of you, they will not be orderly. That's what you think. And that's not true. You may get what you call pseudo order, but you're not getting real order, because real order is when the kids are not with you. You now need to check how orderly are they. Number 6, perfectionism without acceptance. Nothing is ever good enough. So there's constant striving for performance in order to be accepted. The opposite of it is the unwillingness to engage because of the fear of not getting it right. And you can tell how it follows us to adulthood. So here we are. There's always the constant fear of not starting anything, not getting into anything because of the fear of failure. Where is that coming from? Number 7, there's what we call emotional suppression without expression. You are discouraged from expressing your sadness. You are discouraged from expressing disagreement, even your excitement. You're not allowed to express it. There's no room for honest conversation. So rather than have moments where we sit down and talk through things properly in a healthy environment, there is either the fear of talking, or when we are talking, it is taken explosively because the suppressed emotions explodes. So you either don't talk, you go into what you call a pseudo peaceful mode, or when you're going to talk, you talk explosively like a grenade that has just been unpinned. This is what happens. You are like a volcano. The magma has been suppressed, and the day there's a little crack, then we have an explosion, because you were trained from childhood to mask your feelings, suppress your feelings. You bury your feelings. You don't express them. Why? When you were expressing them, they were invalidated. And too many times the reason why we're not having our best life, the reason why we're not having the best of our relationships, is because there is a separation between us, our joy, our expression, our passion, our creativity, our dynamism. All of that has been separated from us by a stone of offense, by the stone of rejection. It has come between us and our joy. Wow. Good to have every one of us joining us right now. I'm sure they're going to take up the scriptures down. Thank you so much for connecting with us today. My name is Samuel, and I'm glad to how to connect with you right now, because we are in for something remarkable today. You know, the Bible does mentions that for where there is envy and self-seeking, the Bible says where confusion always prevails is usually because self-seeking also prevails. I'm going to read that scripture to you in James 3:16. The Bible says, for where envy and self-seeking exists, confusion and every evil thing are there. Praise God. I'm sure I'm going to work this out for us. So take note of this again. For where envy and self-seeking exist, confusion and every evil work will be found there. So there is something about concentration on self and how it impacts on the safety of every family. We want to look at some of the major causes of dysfunctional families, and we want to look at how it affects our relationships and marriages years after we have come out of such families. We've been looking at that in the last few days, and I'm very confident of the fact that it has truly inspired us. So I'd like you to really get across, invite your friends, let them know that this broadcast is on today. Reach out to all of your friends, get everybody on board. Well, good to have you back. And I started talking about the fact that today we're going to be looking at dysfunctional family backgrounds and how all of that impacts on our lives as adults, and how it affects our relationships and how it controls our marriages if unattended to, if left unattended to. I'd like you to reach out to your friends and let them know that we are online today, and it promises to be a life-changing moment. Therefore, I'd like you to reach out to as many as you can right now and tell them to be online with us. Everyone on YouTube, go ahead and invite your friends. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about one of the 4 dysfunctional families and how it affects your life as an adult years after you have left such a family. I'm talking to singles, I'm talking to single parents, I'm talking to divorced individuals, separated, and I'm going to be talking to couples today. I want to show you how where you come from, particularly if you come from this kind of family, it has its own effect on your life, on your relationship, on your marriage, and ultimately on your family. If anything is going to change, you have to first of all recognize where you came from. And then you need to recognize the impact it has made on your life. And the next thing is to be able to figure out what kind of information or intervention you will need in order to be able to have a change of orientation, change in disposition, so that your actions will be totally different from the actions that produce that kind of family that you don't want to repeat or reproduce. So I want to look at one of such families. We've looked at 2 already. We looked at one yesterday, and then we've looked at the other before. I'm sure you're going to go watch the videos on dysfunctional families. Look at the ones we've treated so far. Today I want to focus on the conflict reading, or what we call chaotic family. The conflict reading, or what we call the chaotic family. And I'd like you to give me your attention. It's critical that you give attention to this. First of all, the Bible says God is not the author of confusion. God is not the author of confusion. God is not the author of chaos. God is not the driver of drama. God is not the author or the initiator of instability in the home, unpredictability. A home where anything can happen at any time. Everyone is always on the edge. Nobody knows who will erupt next. It could be daddy, it could be mom, it could be the kids. There is this potential for eruption of emotions at any time. So everybody is on the edge. Everybody is constantly watching out. Nobody's in a state of peace or stability, because anything can happen. So I'd like to start by giving you an introduction to what a conflict reading or chaotic family, what it is. It is a family where conflict is consistently unresolved. A conflict reading family, a chaotic family, is a family where conflict is consistently unresolved. Whenever there's conflict, we just have a way of glossing over it. We move on. We don't attend to it. We don't deal with it. We just move on. Our emotions are poorly managed. Whatever you're feeling, it is not properly managed. How you felt is not properly managed. What you're thinking, what you're feeling is not properly managed. Somebody just hurts you. Your hurts are not attended to. Just forget about it. Let's just go on. Let's just go on. We just move over it. We just gloss over it. I'm talking about a conflict reading family where chaos is the order of the day. Communication in such a family is unhealthy. There's no healthy communication. Your peace is constantly disrupted. Today you are in peace, tomorrow you are at peace, and then the day after, it's all about instability. I can see someone saying, Reverend Sam, I recognize that kind of family. Now you are either from such a family, or someone you are in relationship with is from such a family. It is therefore critical for you to understand the dynamics of such a family, the impact of it on you as an adult and your relationship. It is critical for you to understand that. And also, it also helps you to be able to understand how to manage anybody from that kind of a background. A conflict reading and chaotic family is a dysfunctional family. And it has one of the greatest potential of raising children who become adults that have dysfunctional relationships and marriages. You heard me right. In such families, problems are ignored. You're dealing with a problem, it is ignored. Nobody wants to give attention to the problem. In such a family, suppressed emotions are usually very high. You constantly have to suppress your emotions. Because in the first place, if you express how you feel, you are not sure how others are going to respond. There's high level of unpredictability in such a family. Emotions are exaggerated. Problems are exaggerated in such families. Things are not handled constructively. Conflicts are handled destructively. It's a terrible kind of environment to grow up in. In a conflict reading and chaotic kind of family background, love may exist, but peace will be absent. You have a situation where everything looks like we're in love with each other, but there's no peace because at any time, anything can happen. Fights can erupt, quarrels can erupt, arguments can be fostered. Things can go bad at times when you least expect them to go bad. It can happen over lunch. It can happen over dinner. It can happen over just talking about chores and the family. It can happen just between the husband and the wife making a demand on, I'm sorry, I need some money for school fees for the kids. Anything can lead to eruptions of conflict. One of the things such a family does is that it causes what we call emotional exhaustion. You're tired. You're tired of this kind of family. In Africa, particularly Nigeria, we have movies that depict those kind of families. So what happens to children who grow up from that kind of family? Watching the drama, watching the conflict, they grow up believing that marriage, relationship is going to be like this. And I'm going to show you how later, these are the kind of people that when they come into a relationship with you and you are trying to create a peaceful environment, it's foreign to them. I mean, you just want peace. You want a place where everybody's respected. Somebody's already getting it. You're getting what I'm talking about. You want a very peaceful home. You want a home where there's respect for each other, one another. You want a home where everybody's treated with dignity and, but it's foreign to somebody from a chaotic, dramatic, emotionally disruptive home. A home where everybody's constantly watching their moves and everybody's constantly being careful of the next person. You're mindful of the words you speak because you can say something and it can be misinterpreted. Now here you are in relationship with someone from such a background. And have you noticed you want to get into conversation with the person and the next thing you're hearing the person saying is, I'm sorry, I don't want this to result into conflict. I don't want this to result into conflict. And you are like, sorry, where is conflict coming from? We are just to discuss. Why is the person talking about conflict? It's a subliminal, subconscious programming. The person is always anticipating what the person has always experienced. It is the reason why you want to have a conversation with such a person in relationship, and the person wants to, can we make it very brief? I don't want this thing to result into, so you hear those kind of language, I don't want it to result into something else. Question is, what is it going to result into? We are supposed to have a civil conversation. And we may agree and disagree, which is part of conversation. And any such thing, the moment there's a disagreement, somebody from a conflict reading environment is already interpreting it as crisis or conflict. And destructive conflict for that matter. So it's always a very difficult thing to be in relationship with such people. They avoid conversation, and some of them, whilst they may avoid conversation, you have others who, because they came from an environment where conflict was constantly present, guess what happens? When they're in relationship with you and you want to have a situation where there's peace, what would they want to do? They always want to create a situation whereby conflict will happen, because that is the environment they are used to. We're talking about conflict reading family backgrounds. Homes do not become chaotic overnight. Unresolved conflicts accumulate until eventually chaos becomes the culture. When conflicts are unresolved, chaos will eventually become the culture of that family. And when chaos becomes the culture of the home, shouting will become normal. Shouting Have you been around a family where the mother just wants? Have you been in a family where you just want to call your child? The child is right in your. Talk to me if you know what I'm talking about. Have you ever found yourself in a place? And I'm not saying it's your home, but have you found yourself in any family where the child is right in the front of the mother? And the mother wants to say, "Hey, Danny, come here." That's just what she's supposed to say. "Danny, come here." Danny, she's screaming like, my God. And the child is confused. "Mom, who are you calling? If it's me, I'm here." You want to call the child from the room? You have to scream. Shouting is normal. Chaotic families teaches you how to shout, because it's a normal way of existence. Arguments are daily. Arguments are daily. I see somebody says that. You're so right. Arguments are daily in chaotic families. It's like if we don't end up in argument, and I'm talking about terrible, unhealthy argument, sometimes unreasonable, sometimes inconceivable argument. Arguments that just don't make sense. Arguments that reveals the presence and the prevalence of foolishness rather than the existence of wisdom. Have you been in a home where every little thing you are hearing doors being slammed? The mother is going out, boom, she slams the door because she's not happy. The son too is going out, bangs the door, slams. So you're in a home where doors are being slammed, shouting is normal, argument is constant, peace is almost non-existent. A conflict-ridden family where we are all under one roof, but emotionally we all live in different worlds. I'm talking about an emotionally laden, an emotionally boisterous family where confusion prevails, where anger rises constantly, and where fights sometimes happen. Verbal, physical abuse you find in such a home. In such a family, chaos becomes normal. Conflict becomes familiar. Drama becomes expected. It's what that kind of family is. And so a child that grows up from such a family always spends adulthood looking for peace. Unfortunately, while some of them are looking for peace, they end up also creating war. Is the saddest part of it. Let me share some of the basic marks of chaotic families with you, and then I will bring it into your relationship and show you how such things can affect individuals in relationship, so you are able to figure out if that is what is happening to you or what is happening to the person relating with you or to you. What are some of the seven major marks of a chaotic home? Number one, constant conflict without resolution. Constant conflict without resolution. Arguments happen frequently, and then genuine reconciliation that is supposed to follow doesn't follow. Children learn that conflict is something to survive rather than something to solve. So we get used to not resolving conflict. Now you can tell where it's coming from, right? For those of you who are married, I'm sure you can now tell, oh, now I see. Now I see where there's conflict. This person will just want to gloss over it. This person will just want to do like nothing happened. This person want to leave like nothing. And then another conflict comes and then we move over it like that. We have a misunderstanding today, and rather than resolve it, rather than talk about it the next day or 2 days after, no, we just resume conversation like nothing happened before. Somebody says that shouting is normal. Healthy families are not conflict free. Get that right. Healthy families are not conflict free, but they are reconciliation filled. In healthy family, there's conflict. There are conflicts. The beautiful thing about healthy families is that conflicts are always resolved. Reconciliation always takes place. But in chaotic families, it's conflict upon conflict. In actual fact, conflict is used to resolve conflict. Have you ever had a situation where someone comes to meet you and the person is supposed to talk about what went wrong last time, and the person came to attack you? The person came to use conflict to resolve conflict. I see somebody say very deep. I confirm. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Have you had a situation where somebody comes to meet you and say, well, I just wanted to talk to you about what happened last time. Oh, in your heart, you're like, praise God. Now we're about to resolve this matter. And then the next thing you hear will be things like, on that day, I wanted to let you know, I felt so disappointed at what you did that day. And that is still burning in my heart. And that day, the way and you're like, wait a minute. Are we supposed to be resolving what happened? Or we are using what happened as a fuel for a new conflict? That's why we say people from chaotic family backgrounds, conflict-ridden family backgrounds, they use conflict to resolve conflict. They use dysfunction to try to resolve dysfunction. Oh my goodness. Someone is just sending me a message. Reverend Sam, that's what I've been going through for the past years. Thinking that there will be a change, but no. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us. Another person said, Reverend Sam, I grew up in that kind of family. It happens to be my uncle's wife. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing your thought. We're talking about real stuff here today. And I need to be getting your feedback as you're listening to this. You know somebody like that. You've experienced something like that. Let us get to hear your experience. What are some of the ways, the signs you can use to know that, wait a minute, this guy may have come from a conflict-ridden family. Conflict is enjoyed. Listen, the person loves conflict. The person likes a crisis-filled environment. These are the kind of people that, listen, when they are the cause of a crisis that makes you unable to sleep, these are the kind of people that will sleep peacefully. Have you met a Jonah? Have you met a Jonah who is the reason for your crisis, your conflict, who is the reason for your trouble? And you, who is the victim, can't sleep. But the major perpetrator of this particular crisis is the one that has peace. Because for them, they enjoy peace in the midst of conflict. For you, conflict signals the absence of peace. Somebody said, Reverend Sam, I recently went through that and I gave up on my relationship. It was becoming worse. Somebody said, I come from a conflict-ridden family. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us. We're talking real stuff here today. We're talking about drama-filled family. Drama-filled families where there is anger without self-control. Anger, you watch daddy explode like a volcano. And you know something about volcanoes? When they erupt, you can't stop volcanoes. When volcanoes begins to erupt, you take cover, you run away from them, and you wait for the volcano to exhaust its lava, and then it will come down by itself. Some of us grew up in homes like that, where you watch father, you watch mother, you will see siblings who erupt and nobody can pin them down, nobody can hold them down. And sadly speaking, some of us are like that. When we erupt, we are like volcanoes that spill out magmas, and nobody can control us, nobody can stop us. What we want to do, we must do it. How we are feeling is exactly what we must do. There is no control. We are like a dam that has lost control. There are no barriers. You just flood the entire place with the venom of anger until you feel satisfied. You damage things, you destroy, you say things. When you are upset, you spill out, and nobody can contain you. If anybody tries to hold you, it's like they filled you up. If anybody tries to tell you keep quiet, no, that's when you get more. You become more, intense. Oh, God bless you. I see someone say, Reverend Sam, I am like that. God bless you. God is here to do. Oh, somebody said I was like that, but God has helped me. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. We're talking about chaotic families. We're talking about the effect on our lives. Anger without self-control. Emotions dominate conversation. You just can't make a very clear point without too much emotional drama. What is the problem? You can't say exactly what the problem is, but you have to pull all kinds of stuff. You must raise dust, and we are wondering what exactly is the issue. Your mind is not trained. You didn't grow up in an environment that helped you to be able to focus on key issues, to be issue-centered. Emotions must be thrown all over the place. You must shout before you listen. You must react before you think. Talk to me, somebody. You must shout. You scream, scream, scream. And it's after you've already poured out. Most times is after we have poured out our foolishness, because it came from the place of feeling, not thinking. You've made statements that you can't retrieve. It is after we have said what we thought, what we felt, then we'll now start thinking about what we said. It is what we call mouth over mind. When the mouth rules the mind, chaos is inevitable. When the mouth rules the life of an individual, chaos will be what the person will create. When talking is not backed by thinking, such a person will talk before thinking and then will think after talking. The sad part of it is that you must have said and could have said things that you will not be able to retrieve. And what happens when you have children from such kind of a family? We're shouting. Don't forget this. Don't forget that shouting is the way by which you get things done. That's how daddy got things done. That's how mommy got you to do things. What is that doing to the brain of a child? Because you were always watching mommy shouting to tell you to go and do things, and that's how you go to do things. You watch daddy shouting on mommy, and that's what gets mommy to be calm, to listen to him. What is that doing to your brain? It's rewiring your brain, and it's teaching you that shouting gets things done. Look at what somebody is saying here. It got to the point that we were always happy whenever she travels. Can you believe that? Whenever mommy travels, there's excitement in the house. Somebody saying, Father, help me. Shouting. You've gotten so used to it. And it's almost difficult, like if you speak in a soft tone, it sounds like maybe you are weak, because you've been used to seeing that the dominant people in your family are those who shout. Somehow in your mind, you've now come to associate authority with shouting. You've come to associate domination with shouting. Emotional maturity is not the absence of anger, it is the mastery of it. Matured emotions master anger. So emotional maturity is not the absence of anger. It's not the absence of the feeling of rage. Emotional maturity is the ability to keep rage under control. It is the ability to make sure thinking precedes talking. It is the ability to keep reaction under control. It is the ability to ask why rather than react to what. Emotional maturity. Your focus is on what happened, on why it happened, rather than what happened. How do you know a family? How do you know homes that are dysfunctional? There's violence without safety. Violence without safety. There's physical abuse. There's verbal abuse. There's emotional abuse. Constant threats. Constant intimidation. Which leaves the children feeling unsafe in what should have been the most safest place on earth, the family. Constant intimidation. That's what rules in the family. Threats all the time. Have you been close to a family where you hear the father making statements like, I will disown you? Oh God. Please, I grew up in an amazing environment. I grew up, sometimes I'm asking myself, what if not for Jesus in my life? Honestly. I ask myself, what if not for Jesus? I don't know what my life will have become, because I saw too many of this. I lived with neighbors. I saw shouting. I saw fighting. I saw everything. I mean, think about a father looking at a 6-year-old boy. A father, I'm talking about a matured man, looking at a 6-year-old, and he's telling the 6-year-old, I will disown you. I will disown you. For what? Because the 6-year-old behaved like a 6-year-old. Shouldn't we begin to question the sanity of an old man, a matured man, so to say, who is threatening a 6-year-old with disowning the child? Shouldn't we question your sanity if a 6-year-old behaves like a 6-year-old? If you now begin to threaten that child, I will disown you. And I've seen, I grew up in a place where, you will see parents, very matured, huge parents, grown-ups. You will see them beating a 3-year-old as though they are fighting their mates. I will teach you a lesson today. I will leave a mark on your body. The parents are pounding these kids, beating the children. I mean, the parents will fall on the kid. Oh, God. Reverend Sam, in my family, we were never allowed to express our feelings. Gone through brokenness, raised by parents that never knew how to nurture us. We grew up being talked down on, abused physically. I really feel with you. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. That's why we're here today. Somebody said, that's my family. Oh my God. And when he met me, he said the last lady he separated with, he beat her to the point she was unconscious. He vowed never to beat a woman again, somehow telling me I am fortunate. We're talking about chaotic family and the chaotic families and their impact on us and our relationships and marriages. Every child deserves a family where love is louder than fear. We all deserve to grow up in homes where love is louder than fear. And here's the point. If you didn't have it, why don't you make up your mind to give it? Why don't you make up your mind that you will have the kind of family you never had? Oh, come on, talk to me. Shouldn't that be your goal? That I will work on my marriage, that I will work on my relationship. I will ensure that my family becomes like the family I never had. And what kind of family will that be? A family where love is louder than fear. A family where trust is given to my children, that I can let my kids know very early that daddy trusts them. Look at the way God dealt with Adam. Adam had never managed anything when God gave him everything. God was simply telling Adam, I trust you. Chaotic family are families where there's addiction without accountability. Have you been in families where alcohol is taken right in the front of the kids? In fact, I don't know about you, but I've been around where we, the kids, are sent to go buy the alcohol. I'm talking about the father kids. Oh my goodness. Kids were sent to beer parlors. Kids were sent to pubs to go buy alcohol at age 5, age 3. Normalizing such an environment in the mind of a child. So what a child was exposed to at 5, the child will begin to frequent during teenage years, and eventually to be the home of that adult later in life. Because in the first place, it has become normal. An abnormal environment that the child should not be exposed to. The child has been made to go to that environment consistently. So someone like me, some of us were asked to go buy cigarettes. Some of us were asked to go buy, weeds, marijuana. Yes. And some of us were also asked to help our parents to wrap it up. Yeah. Yes. At a very tender age, we're exposed to wrapping up those kind of things. So there's addiction without accountability. We're watching addiction, and addiction was normalized. We're watching people drinking. We're watching adults come to our homes, and we watch them get drunk. I mean, we were like watching, and we see them laughing as they drink and they get drunk. We're seeing them taking one bottle after the other bottle, and we're seeing them creating cocktails, mixing all kinds of alcohol, and they are just smiling. And something was telling us as we watch them do that, it was communicating to us that it's something enjoyable. Somebody said, I had such an experience. I mean, we grew up, we watched that. It was so bad that some of us at very tender age, some of my friends, that fathers will tell them, fathers will send them kids 5, 7, 8, 9 to go and invite girlfriends. Some of us got exposed to parents gambling, playing pools, sending us to go carry such activities out for them. Gambling. And we're talking about compulsive behaviors that control such families. And gradually, everyone began to adjust to the dysfunction. Abnormality became normality. Dysfunction became a new way of life. We all began to see nothing wrong with it. And that's how many of us have moved into adulthood now. And it's nothing wrong, because even though you go to church, this still controls your mind. I came from a broken home where you can't express how you feel. I prayed to marry right and have a healthy marriage. I come from such addictive background. Thank you all, people of God, for sharing your experiences with us, because it's important that someone knows that these things are real. And thank you for sharing. We're talking about the marks of chaotic and dysfunctional homes. Let me say this. Addiction rarely destroys just one person's life. The moment one person becomes addicted, families will suffer to some extent the consequences of one becoming addicted to anything. Once there's addiction to gambling, monies that should stay in the family will go in a different direction. When there's addiction to alcohol, monies that should stay in the family will go in such a direction. Addiction rarely affects just one person. Go ahead, please click the like button and go ahead and share, because we are in for something phenomenal today. I promise you. You are about to discover why you behave the way you behave in relationship, and you are also discovering perhaps why your partner behaves the way your partner behaves. It's traceable to the family. I've always stated, and I will say again, that the marriage institution is the battleground for family backgrounds. The first battle to conquer in the marriage institution is the battle coming from our family backgrounds. Unfortunately, many couples never get to resolve that, and eventually it leads to the dissolution of many marriages, the destruction of many. Many marriages will never be normal for the rest of their lives until they are able to trace their troubles back to where they are coming from. What are some of the marks of chaotic homes, chaotic families, divorce and separation without healing. Divorce or separation without healing. Parents separate, but children always carry the wounds for years. Your parents separated, but you who are the victim, you who is the victim, was not taken through any therapy. You were not taken through any counseling session. They did what they want to do without a recourse to how you feel. When they were going to separate, when they were going to have a divorce, they didn't think about you. When they had it, you also was not you were not considered. How you felt was not an issue. On the contrary, you are now the one who is going to suffer the consequence for their choices, because daddy will call you. Whenever daddy has an opportunity to talk to you, daddy is going to fuel you up with all the bad stuff he has concerning your mom. And then your mother too gets the time to talk with you. Your mother too pumps all kinds of stuff into you. And so here you are. You have not yet healed from the trauma of their divorce, from the trauma of going to school and seeing children with their father and mother during end of term events or during special events. You see children come with both fathers and mothers, but you are the only one who doesn't either have daddy or mommy there, or there's only daddy, or daddy comes at this time and mommy comes at her own time. And your classmates are left to wonder, what kind of family is this? And you live with that. You live with that reality. You're facing it. You're dealing with it. So you have the trauma first, that daddy and mommy went apart. And then you have the trauma of having to deal with your classmates, your school life. And now you have to deal with the trauma of daddy and mommy always having you as the person they talk to about one another. How your father damages your mom before you and your mother damages your father before you. Somebody said, true, sir, we were damaged. Rev, this is truly my case. My pattern can shot at you as if you are a human being. If she gets angry, that comes out of her mouth. That's what comes out of her mouth. It really tired everything now. I'm tired of everything now. We're talking about real stuff here. We're saying that some of us come from homes where dad and mom were separated. Dad and mom were divorced. But we were not taking, our emotional health was not given attention to. They blamed themselves in our very presence. We were wounded by what happened to them. And then they will also wound us by talking to us about themselves. And we grew up like that. Some of us have grown up to become adults who are married, and throughout, you've never thought of a moment in your life where you healed from what happened with your dad. And you have no idea how it is affecting you today in your relationship and in your marriage. A lady said to me, she said, Reverend Sam, she noted, her husband noted something. Listen to this. Her husband said to me, he said, Reverend Sam, he said, anytime my wife begins to talk, he said, my wife wants to talk with me. He said, I don't like long conversation. He said, I'll just tell her to go straight to the point. And when she's trying to talk too much, he said, I just want to stand up and walk away. He said, that's always where I notice something is wrong. He said, every time he tries to stand up to run away, to walk away, the wife will grab him. And the wife will begin to shout. And he said, at that moment, he began to wonder, what exactly is wrong with this woman? And he decided because of that, he said he doesn't want this kind of trouble. And he decided because of that to walk out of the family for 2 years. Eventually, he got to see me. And then we got talking. And when we started talking, I said I wanted to talk with the wife. And I said, can you tell me about your childhood? Guess what she said? She said her father walked out of her life at the age of 5. Her mother, who was supposed to carry her along, also walked out of her life and walked into the house of a man at that very age. So she was left to be cared for by her grandmother. So she became exposed to abandonment, and nobody attended to that wound of abandonment that she experienced at a very tender age. Unfortunately for the husband always wants to walk away. Now, that is his own conflict resolution style, avoidance. Unfortunately for him, he did not know that in order to avoid conflict, whilst he tries to walk away, he triggers the memory of how she was abandoned by a father who walked away and a mother who walked away. So when she reaches out to grab him, she's not trying to fight him. His interpretation of her action was because of lack of understanding of her background. Unfortunately for her also, she didn't also know why she always wants to hold his trouser back. She didn't know why she always wants to talk. It was on that day when she shared her story, all of a sudden, it became very clear that she had not yet healed from the trauma of the wound of abandonment that was inflicted upon her through the divorce that the parents experienced. It was on that day the husband also understood that, oh my God, I am actually triggering such memories. And for the first time, they looked at each other right before me, and the man began to cry, and the wife held the man held the wife, and that was how their union was reconciled. I'm talking about the wound of abandonment, the wound of divorce. Divorce can end a marriage, but the wound of divorce can continue for generations. Divorce can end the union of two people, but the impact of that divorce can continue in the lives of the children from that union and can be perpetuated into the lives of their own children. Somebody said on top of the trauma of divorced parents often offload their own wahala on top of the child's head, and then there's a society to deal with. Such tender hearts get wounded until they are hard. That's how hard hearts are developed. How do you know that a family is chaotic? Very soon I'm going to open the floor for you to ask me questions. So the Zoom link will be available, and we're going to give room to about 5 of us to ask questions today. One of the marks of a chaotic family is what we call instability without security. Instability without security. Children don't always know what to expect. In a chaotic home, children don't always know what to expect. Sometimes it can be relocation, impromptu relocation, coming from an impulsive father or mother. Just woke up and I think we need to relocate, and the kids are all shocked. We just moved about four years ago. We just moved about 3. Well, I'm tired of this area. And the kids are constantly being uprooted from one place to the other. Constant relocation. Financial crisis. Kids grow up in a home where they are always told there's no money. And the kids are confused, but daddy works for money. Mommy works. Why is there not always money? When it comes to our needs, why is it that it's always when we have needs, there's no money in this family? Financial crisis. We're talking about the instability that can be fostered by chaotic homes. Children grow better. Children grow up to become better individuals when they grow up in an environment that is safe, predictable, and in an environment where there is long time stability. Let me share with you some of the characteristics of chaotic families. These are some of the major characteristics, how you used to know that that family was a chaotic one, and how you may also use these indicators to know if you are also trying to build, or you are already building, a chaotic family. Number one, there's unresolved conflicts without forgiveness. You carry with you years of unresolved conflicts, pains, disappointments, things that have happened for years, and you've not summoned the courage to sit down with your husband, your wife, your children, your siblings, and say, look, I've carried this for years. I want us to talk about it. Old offenses are never released. Bitterness accumulates in you, and offenses becomes your history. Every disagreement will open and reopen old wounds. You always have a way of keeping yesterday alive in today's relationships. You create chaos. You create an unhealthy environment. The sad part of it is that you are destroying your health, because what you are keeping is killing you. What you are harboring is disrupting your state, your hormonal state. Because the human mind was not designed by God to keep yesterday's pain. God did not design the human mind to store the pains and the memories of a painful past. Your mind was not designed to keep memories of painful events from the past. Every attempt to do that will create a situation whereby there will be chaos in your marriage and there will be chaos in your health. Psychosomatic illnesses are traceable to resentment, bitterness, stored pains, and unresolved conflicts. You have to let it go. There are relationships you get into, and the person that comes into a relationship with you doesn't just feel comfortable in that relationship with all you are doing. The person just feels uncomfortable, and the reason is the person can just sense that something is not just right with you, and it has to do with unresolved conflicts that you carry around with you. Let me say it again. Unforgiveness keeps yesterday's pain alive in today's relationship. Oh my goodness. Hallelujah. Where forgiveness is not present, healing is impossible. What are the impacts? What are the effects of these chaotic families on adults in our relationships and in our marriages? Number one, chronic anger. When you see people with chronic anger issues, they are easily irritated. Small issues will trigger big reactions. Oh, it's usually a pointer to something that went wrong. A spouse suffers from wounds created long before they are met. Now listen, I am not the one who created the wound. Unfortunately for me, I am the trigger. I'm not the one that loaded you up. Unfortunately, I didn't know that you were that loaded. And what should have been a normal thing in a normal relationship with a normal person is abnormal to you because you have an abnormal situation. Unhealed anger always finds new targets. People who have not been healed by what somebody else did to them, they will find a new target to pour that anger on. And unfortunately, it might be you. So you are in relationship with someone who has been angered at home, angered by a previous relationship. And now you are the victim, you are the recipient of what you were not the cause of. Number 2 is emotional instability. Emotional instability. Emotions fluctuate rapidly. Disappointments are difficult to regulate. Minor disagreement becomes emotional crisis. Have you met anybody like that? No, talk to me. Have you met anybody like that? Emotional instability. Just little things. We're just discussing something small, and there's rapid escalation. All of a sudden, there's rapid escalation, and you're wondering, how did we get here? The whole house is burning. And you're asking yourself, what did I do? What did I say? If you disappoint such people, they were expecting certain things to go their way and it didn't go their way. Oh my God. The reaction you will get for the disappointment, it will make you to wonder if you've not been a good person in the past. Talk to me. Have you met anybody like that? You've been nice all the way, but on this day, things didn't just go the way the person wants. And the person reacts and erupts, and you're wondering, oh, just for this little moment, how about all the good stuff I've done in the past? All of that is washed away, eroded, just the way a tsunami will sweep through a city, wiping everything away along its path. Even so, when people like that erupt, they just wash away everything that has ever happened that is called good, because now they feel bad. Oh my God, somebody is saying, that's my husband. Somebody said, my husband is who you just described. Number 3, trust issues. Children from chaotic family backgrounds always have trust issues. Don't forget, they grew up in an environment where nothing can be trusted. No one can be trusted. Eruptions can take place. Violence can take place. Abuse can take place. So they have trust issues. They don't trust anybody because they never trusted anyone. They grew up in an environment where trust was a scarce commodity. So trust still remains the most difficult thing for them to give anybody today. And if you see them talk about how difficult it is for them to trust people, they talk about it with some kind of energy, as if it's something to be proud of. You know, I take my time. I can't trust everybody. You know, this world. And you're wondering, what world are they talking about? You will give your life and do your best, and still they will not trust you. Why? You're dealing with damaged individuals. Number 4 is fear of commitment. Marriage feels risky, and love feels temporary. For them, even if they are married to you, they see it as a risky thing. And they don't want to pour out their love on you, so they don't push all of it out. So they have what we call regulated love expression. Because in the first place, I didn't love anybody. I didn't pour my love on anybody in the family. Those that I loved in my family, what my eyes saw in my family. How can I come and love somebody because he just told me that we do? Because you gave me a ring. And so there's something playing in their mind that says, if those who were my blood family members, if I didn't trust them that much, how can I trust someone like you just because you told me I do? Fear of commitment. Number 5, conflict avoidance or addiction. Anything that will look like we are trying to, exchange our perception, our views, anything that looks like a discussion that will require intellectual engagement is considered conflict, is considered disagreement. And so the natural thing to do is to avoid such. To avoid it. And if they don't avoid conflict, then they will create conflict. So it's either conflict avoidance or conflict addiction. I'm either creating it or I'm avoiding it. These are two extremes that will damage any marriage or relationship. Your childhood can explain your conflict style, your conflict resolution style. Don't forget what I just said to you now. Psychologists have discovered that your childhood plays a very, very significant role in shaping your conflict resolution style. Whether it's avoidance, whether it's confrontation, your childhood has a way of influencing your conflict resolution style. But here's the beautiful part of the story. It doesn't have to define it, meaning you can alter it. So in practical terms and in summary, how does chaotic family backgrounds, how does that affect our relationships and marriages? Children from such families who become adults struggle to build peaceful homes because they never experienced one. Can you see that? They struggle to build a peaceful home. Can you see why you've been trying to build one with them, with such a person, and you've not been able to? You wonder why your relationship is always having conflicts? This is it now. You are beginning to see, ask questions, get to check the family background. Does this mean you should leave the person? No, you understand the person. And if you are the person, I hope you know that you are not hopeless or helpless. I hope you know that you can change that narrative because it must not be continued. Number 2, children from such kind of family backgrounds become emotionally reactive and assume always the worst. Anytime they sit down, they are looking at you, something in their mind, because you see, they've always seen what looks like a peaceful situation suddenly disintegrates into chaos. So they've always known that, they've always come to believe that nothing lasts. In fact, every good thing is suspicious to them. There's something internally that tells them this thing is not going to last. No. All this nice loving that my wife is giving, no. There's something bad is coming. This good behavior from my husband, no. I better buckle up. These are the kind of people that are always on the edge. They are always prepared for the failure of the marriage. They have just come into a marriage and they are preparing for its failure. In case it fails, they are always prepared for exit. Because don't forget, they grew up in a home where everybody is always prepared to find his way or her way. So that has shaped the mindset, so much so that in marriage also, the person is with you in marriage, but the person is also looking for a way. The person already even has a way out. The person is planning the way out. The person already has plan A, plan B, plan C. Somebody said, Reverend Sam, I want to connect with you. Please, there will be a number on the screen, sir. You can send a message to the number on the screen. You are from Benin Republic, you want to connect with me, you can send your message to the number on the screen. How do you know that somebody you are in relationship with may be from a chaotic family background? What are some of the signs that people from such places, what are some of the signs that they manifest? They find it difficult to apologize or forgive. This is one of the most defining characteristics of such people. Apology, oh my God. They will rather explain it. They will gaslight you. They know they were wrong, but they will never easily just come and say, I am sorry for what I did wrong. I am sorry. No. They will have to have a narrative. They will have to gaslight you. They will have to explain it. And even to say, I'm sorry, it's like if it drops in their mouth, it drops their value. They fear apologizing because to them, to do that is to demean themselves. They personalize apology. So for them, for me to say sorry, it's like I'm making myself look like I'm small or I am cheap. And some of them were forced to apologize when they were small. They were forced to apologize for what they did not do. That is the reason why in old age, they find it difficult to apologize. Somebody says, sir, you are talking to me. They find it difficult to apologize. And the worst part of it, they find it difficult to forgive. Oh, they will tell you, no, it's okay. I've forgiven you. Just give it a moment. Just give it a moment. You know why? You see, they must hold on to offense because it seems it gives them leverage. Oh, you didn't get what I just said right now. The reason they don't want to let go of the memory of offense, they do all they can to remember past events, particularly past hurts that has to do with them, because they are selective in their thinking. They have what we call selective memories. They can't remember anything about you. They only remember everything about themselves. So they must selectively preserve such memories. And in preserving such memories, they want to use it as leverage during any crisis in the future. So they must do everything to rehearse it. They must rehearse it to feel the pain over and over again. And they must find a way to preserve that memory so that if there is a conflict tomorrow, they just simply reach forth to it as a way, particularly if they find themselves in a wrong situation where they are wrong. In order not to feel small, they must pull what you did wrong. The idea is to equalize the situation. That I know that I did this, but you know that this was also something you did last time. In fact, I will never forget I said it. Now, the issue is to, in this moment, when they have hurt you, rather than say sorry, they must reenact their own story and make it look so grievous so that yours will look like nothing. Somebody said that used to be me. Somebody said that is very true, sir. They hardly forgive. They either overreact to issues or they overly withdraw completely. So they play those two games. It's either I overreact or I just completely withdraw. And I'm not withdrawing because I want to keep peace. I'm withdrawing in order to hurt you. So I either overreact to hurt you or I withdraw in order to punish you. Either way, it's aimed at you. There are times when withdrawing is necessary to de-escalate tension. No. In this case, people from this kind of environment, people like this, they don't withdraw to de-escalate tension. They withdraw to actually escalate the tension, not de-escalate. And they do it to hurt you. Now, let me say the most significant of them all. People from that kind of emotional background, from that kind of chaotic family background, crisis-ridden family, those people from that kind of family, except there's a change in orientation, change in disposition, and change in action, usually they will want to recreate intentionally or unintentionally, they will recreate the emotional climate and climate which has to do with the environment and atmosphere that they came out from. They must recreate the emotional climate, which includes the atmosphere and the environment from where they came from. They must recreate it in your relationship. They must create it in the marriage they have with you, because that's what they are used to. You cannot build a peaceful relationship with someone whose soul is filled with emotional warfare. You cannot build a peaceful marriage with a partner whose mind is filled with emotional warfare. A chaotic heart will not create a peaceful environment. What you buy for the person can't cure that situation. A chaotic heart cannot be appeased. That is why with all you have done, the person has not become better. There's a family like that. There's a family where there was that kind of chaos in the Bible. Very terrible, and I'm talking about the family of Joseph. I'm talking about Jacob's family. Very dysfunctional family. A family where everything was present. Sibling rivalry, jealousy, hatred, deception, violence, betrayal. Just look at Jacob's family. Chaotic family. In my country, we have a movie they call Fuji House of Commotion. That's Jacob's house. Jacob's house is what we call a chaotic family of the highest order. Crisis. A family where just talk about the deception of the highest order, where brothers can scheme the death of their brother, where brothers can lie, go back home and pretend to their father like, oh my God, an animal devoured our brother. And all the brothers agreed to become living lies. And all of that was pumped by jealousy. And of course, we had a father who could not bring order and discipline in the family. But the beautiful thing about all of this is that although 10 of the sons of Jacob were swallowed by this chaos, Joseph decided that I will not be like my brothers. That chaos will not be in my own house. And Joseph went on to raise in his lifetime children that his own father Jacob blessed to take over the place of his own firstborn and secondborn. I'm saying Ephraim and Manasseh took over Reuben and Simeon. How did Joseph go from coming from that chaotic family to producing such a beautiful family where we never heard of any conflict between Joseph and his wife? Have you ever thought about it, that Joseph's wife was never in the news? Quiet woman, but a powerful enabler. That woman was quiet behind the scene, making sure Joseph was a very successful man in Egypt. That woman was quietly behind the scene, making sure his children grew up to become the Ephraim and the Manasseh we celebrate today. How did a young man go from such a chaotic background to creating such an amazing family? One, we saw Joseph, how that he chose to become a better man, not a bitter man. He chose to become a man who forgets rather than hold on to unforgiveness. He was a man that gave his son the firstborn. He gave the firstborn the name Manasseh. God has made me to forget. And then he gave the second one, Ephraim. God has made me to be fruitful. He was simply saying, listen, I chose to forget so I can be fruitful. Don't forget what I just said to you. Manasseh, Ephraim. Many of us want Ephraim, but we don't want to deal with Manasseh. We don't want to have our Manasseh. You don't want to forget, but you want to be fruitful. Oh, you didn't hear what I just said. You don't want to forget. You don't want to forgive, but you want to be fruitful. And now Ephraim comes after Manasseh. Ephraim doesn't come before Manasseh. So you have to learn to forget in order to be fruitful. You have to learn to forgive in order to be fruitful. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Healing begins when you decide that the cycle ends right here, and that negative cycle will not continue. Your family shaped your past, but your choices will shape your future. Joseph inherited dysfunction, but he created a healthy family. He chose forgiveness. How can you break this cycle? If you're from that kind of environment, how can you break that cycle? Reject unhealthy conflict patterns. Reject it. Learn biblical communication. Practice forgiveness quickly. Develop emotional self-control. Seek healing for unresolved trauma. Decide today that you will stop carrying within you, in your soul, you will stop carrying about memories of painful events. That your soul will no longer be the reservoir for dead matters. Because if your soul becomes a reservoir for dead matters from the past, it becomes the cemetery, the burial place for past issues. It is a reason why life will stink. It is a reason why life will be filled with all kinds of diseases. It is time to get rid of the burial place in your soul. It is time to say to yourself, my soul will not be the reservoir for past pains and memories. Build relationships on trust, not on fear. Decide that you will have the kind of peace in your marriage that your childhood did not experience. Decide. Don't wish it. Decide it. Because God never intended that your home should be filled with confusion. God never intended that your marriage should be laden with confusion. He desires that your home will be a place of peace. You cannot, and you could never have chosen the family you were born into. But you can choose the kind of family you want to have. Why don't you say today, I choose a peaceful home? Why don't you say today, I choose a loving home? Or go ahead and type your choice. What are you choosing? Go ahead and type it right now. What are you choosing? Singles, single parents, married couples. What kind of home are you choosing? I choose a healthy family. I choose a caring home. I choose to have a functional family, not a dysfunctional family. If that is your choice, I would love to pray with you. You can't do this by yourself. You can't have a successful family by yourself. You need Jesus on the inside of you. You need the Word of God at work in you. And you need the Holy Spirit of God helping you. You cannot build this kind of family, a healthy family, a successful family. You cannot build it by yourself. Paul the Apostle said, He said, without you, I can do nothing. He said, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So you can't do it by yourself. You can do this with Christ who is at work in you. Everyone who needs Jesus to come inside and help you. Everyone who needs the Holy Spirit to come and help you. Everyone who needs the power of God's word to work in you and through you to build a solid home. Let's pray together. Say with me, dear Lord Jesus, I recognize my helplessness. I recognize my inability. And so I run to you because I know you died on the cross, you were buried, and you rose again to provide me help. Today I come to you. And I ask that you step into my heart. And beyond my heart, I ask that you step into my home. Give me the kind of marriage. Give me the kind of relationship that reflects heaven. That reflects the atmosphere of heaven. Where peace, joy, and love reign supreme. In Jesus the Christ, mighty name we pray. Amen and amen. Well, I feel so excited about this. I'm sure this has been a great moment for you. I'm sure you've learned a lot, and I'm sure you've made your choice. I choose to have a loving family. I see what some of you, I choose to have a home and a family filled with love, care, kindness. I choose a healthy family. I choose a peaceful family. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Well, I'm going to give you the opportunity to ask me questions right now. I know you are, one or two, three of you will have questions you want to ask me. If you will have it, the Zoom link is going to be placed on the screen now. Go ahead right now. Log on to that Zoom link, and I will want to attend to the first 5 of you. I'm sure some of my leaders would have collected some questions from some of the platforms we are on. So I'm going to give you the opportunity to ask me the questions. So we're going to turn it over to the Zoom link. Whilst we're doing that, get this book today, Breaking Negative Relationship Patterns. Get this book. There are 10 negative relationship patterns that destroy the relationships of singles and destroys the relationship of married persons. Get this book today. It will help you. Couples, I'm sure you know that you have your own textbook here. It's called Overcoming Emotional Divorce. The beautiful thing is that you can get it online now. You can get it online. So make sure you get a copy of your own book today. And as a couple, start reading together. Nothing destroys relationships and marriages like high level of ignorance. Because the Bible says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Let's get straight to the question, Pastor Mbono. Oh my goodness, I see some of you. Okay, I'm coming to you all. Just put your videos on. If you want me to call you, you have to have your videos on. And if you are single, just know I'm using this time to market you. So if you're a single lady, this is your marketing time. Maybe before Pastor Mbono is ready, let me get over to Fiona. What's your question? Unmute yourself, Kiora. Okay, she can do that.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Go ahead.
First of all, I had last week we had talked. Then I told you about what I was going through, the patterns in my relationships regarding spiritual husbands and all that.
Yes.
Then you said you'd get back to me, and then based on what you taught us today and yesterday, I actually realized that you've been talking about me. I am the kind of person who does not really get excited, and I always have that issue with my friends when they do something for me. That I think the highest I can say is thank you, like from the bottom of my heart, but I don't know how to express myself until you say that our expressions were suppressed when we were young.
Yes.
Yeah, and there's also another thing I always get. I don't know if it's normal or maybe it's also because of the childhood thing. I don't know how to talk with, like, where people are, like they are talking, they are being so loud and all that. I kind of feel irritated. Then I'll be like, I think this is not my kind of environment. I always love to be in a quiet environment. Most times I also have those seasons where maybe I can be in a house for as long as I have nothing to do. I can be indoors for a whole week, minus even opening a door, as long as everything I want is inside the house. So I maybe if that's also part of the childhood
Yeah,
trauma, like I always try to avoid issues.
yeah.
So if I see like these people are kind of rowdy and all that, I prefer being in a quiet place. I prefer being me, doing me.
I got you. I got you.
Yes.
I hear you. You want to be you. Now listen to me. You don't become better by staying indoors. You have to you can't start expressing yourself to yourself. So whether you want to learn to talk or you want to learn to express yourself, there are just two words for you, Kira: get out. Get out of that your cocoon, that's your comfort zone. And I can imagine that you've made your house so comfortable.
Yes.
You have everything there. There's a DSTV, there's everything, just to make sure you don't go out. Now, that is not going to help you. So, and don't forget that the world, I mean, you go to work. When you go to work, the work environment has several people. Conflicts are normal. There's nothing wrong with conflict. Conflict just simply means your views are not necessarily my views. And that is normal. And that's the truth about life. You see, how I see things are not the way you see things. But it's as we interact together. Oh, okay, then I get to listen more to you and I begin to look at things from your perspective. And because there's relationship between you and I will begin to buy into your perspective. I'll begin to buy into your worldview. So conflict gets minimized when relationship is fostered. Are you getting what I'm saying here? So
Yes, sir.
the best way to do it is not to be afraid of it. The best way to do it is to engage in it. You become better at resolving conflict or minimizing conflict as you build relationships. So relationships de-escalates conflict. Does that make sense? So
Yes,
you
sir.
have to learn to get out. You're a beautiful lady. And look at you speaking so well to me here. Why in the world?
Thank you.
Why in the world you have bright smiles? Have you seen yourself smiling? Oh,
Yeah, in the mirror.
oh my. Ask, I mean, you may need to check. Everyone who is listening online, I like you all to just tell her how you think. What do you think about her? What do you think about her smiles? What do you think about her dentitions? You need to get out there and listen, we're not saying you should go everywhere. Start with someone you are comfortable with. And it might
Yes,
just
sir.
mean just telling the person, can we go out for lunch? All right? Can we go? Look at what people are saying to you. You're smiling beautifully.
Thank
Look at
you.
that. Yeah. All right. So you may need to get someone, start with somebody and say, hey, sorry, can we just have time, lunch? I just want to get to know you better. Can we just go out for it? It could be your friend, a lady. Go out together after Sunday service. You may want to take somebody for lunch. You may choose to do that every Sunday and say, over the next 4 Sunday, I want to go out with 4 different members of our church. I want to take them out for lunch. And you stop by at a restaurant not too far from your church and you just talk. When you start quietly behind closed doors, you start with one person, you will gain confidence to do with 2, confidence to do with 3. And who knows, you might end up becoming a public speaker.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, sir.
God bless you, Bob.
And then,
Yeah.
thank you, sir. And usually, I think another thing I have in me is the fear for disappointments. Like I had shared last time, I've had like been in a relationship, but because of this pattern that keeps coming, of when someone serious comes, and then the next thing I'm getting that dream. the next thing I know, it's not going to work out.
Okay.
So, and the more I pray about it, actually, the more it worsens to the point that I'll even have dreams when, like, I see people claiming me, saying that you are ours, you can't go anywhere. And it really breaks me because I go so much into prayers. I fast, I really pray. But then it's like the more I do it, the more things
Yeah. Now,
yes.
one of the things that I want to quickly say there is that it might just simply means you need somebody else to pray with you, okay? And unfortunately, I was in Kenya. You would, if I'd known that, I would have spent time to pray with you. There are things that when you pray alone, that's why the Bible says, two of you shall agree. Sometimes you pray over a thing and you are unable to move it, not because you don't have faith, but it just requires somebody else praying with you. So I would suggest to you, if you were in Nigeria, I would say, well, if you're in any of the states, I would say fly in and then you come spend the 3 days weekend with us. We'll pray with you and then you go back, all right? But since you're
I'm
in
in
Kenya,
Uganda.
very
I'm in
good.
Uganda.
You are in Uganda. That's a very beautiful place. You have Pastor
Thank you.
Kayanja there. I think you have Pastor Kayanja. Very good. So you can actually go to Pastor Kayanja, go on a fast, and when you go to the church, tell them, take a seed in your hand. Take a seed, and then you get to the church and tell them that you have a seed you want to sow, you want the man of God to pray, you've been on a 3-day fast, and you just want him to pray over you. Take the seed to him and let Pastor Keanja pray with you. In fact, his wife is such an amazing woman. I know we have met in London with her in one of the churches of a family friend, a pastor friend to both of them and ourselves. And I know she's an anointed woman of God. So you can go to them and they will pray with you. If you can't reach them, then you can go on a 3-day fast and give me a call. All right?
Yes, sir.
So I'll pray with
Thank
you
you,
over
sir.
the phone. I see you getting married as soon as possible. And
Amen.
you have no idea. People are already making statements about you. She's a gorgeous lady. She's beautiful. She's black beauty, beautiful. Listen, somebody gave you a 3B. Somebody said you are black beauty. You are black beauty, beautiful. I've never heard that kind of a thing before.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm honored.
Now receive it. Just say, I receive it.
I receive in Jesus' mighty name.
Good. And learn to go beyond thank you. Learn to be excited about life. All right?
Okay, sir.
Learn
Okay,
to
sir.
express it. If somebody gives you something that you're excited about, don't just say thank you. Tell the person, can I give you a hug?
Okay, sir.
Yes. Shake the person. Can I give you a handshake? I'm so grateful. And look at the person. Tell the person, I'm so grateful. I appreciate what you've just done for me. Don't just say thank you.
Okay, sir.
God bless you.
Amen. Thank you, sir.
All right. Looking forward to connecting with you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, though. Yeah, who is on the board? Let's see now. Where are we? Awesome. Pastor Chinedu, do you have a question from your end before I get over to the ladies who are looking at me?
Hi, Papa. Good evening, sir.
Yes, sir.
Always a pleasure to join you again on this session. Thank you so much for today.
You're welcome, sir.
Chaotic family. We're still wrapping our head around it. So some of these questions, the persons have sent them, and they're really tracing on them. I think they are somehow related. I think I'll take one or two matched together that are related. How can I learn to express my feelings rather than staying silent, because I'm the kind of person that will hardly open up to a distress or a discomfort? I would rather stay silent and figure it out my way. And then related to that is, how does a person who carries emotional baggage heals completely? And how do I know if I'm healed or I'm carrying the emotional baggage?
Thank you so much. For the person who wants to know, okay, look, how do I express myself? There's no way to know how to express yourself than to start expressing yourself. the solution to expressing yourself is to learn to start expressing yourself. It begins with words, and then it's followed with gestures. Expression of appreciation can start with words. Like I said to the lady we just finished with now, it can start with words like thank you. I truly appreciate what you said, what you've done for me. I truly appreciate how you cared for me, what you did for me. You want to be very clear. You want to be very clear about what the person truly did. You understand? In expressing gratitude, you want to be clear. I want to thank you so much for the door you opened for me. I want to thank you so much for the car you got for me. Not just thank you. That is indefinite. That is not definitive enough. All right? So we need to learn to start becoming very descriptive in our appreciation, our expression of appreciation. Thank you so much, my husband, for the way you go out of your way to labor, to work so hard. I see how you burn yourself, how you work overnight for us. Than to just look at me and say, thank you for what you are doing for us. It makes me feel like, what? So, but you need to get a little bit deeper. I want to thank you. Now, so you start with words. So imagine if a wife is going to say, thank you to the husband for what you're doing for us. Thank you for waking up. Thank you for the time. Thank you for the sacrifice. I don't even know how you do it and how you juggle work and care for us. You want to be descriptive. And then you go beyond just expressing appreciation in words. You now want to move into gestures, all right? Can I hug you? Oh, that means, and you know, for us men, you know what hugs means to us. And I'm not just talking about you hugging me like you are just pressing a remote button. I'm not a touch and go. Pastor Bono, I see that you're really reacting to this thing. Man of God. Yeah. You know who wants?
I shouldn't be giving hand side hug.
Oh, so it's a side hug you normally give, man of God.
It's in the public, Papa.
It's forbidden. That thing has been abolished. It's like a nuclear bomb that has been forbidden. Nobody is using that thing anymore. All right. So think about it this way. Think about the fact that I come to you and I say, thank you for what you've done for me. Please, can I have a hug? And for those who are married, sometimes to get a little more romantic, the night to say thank you will be a night to give what we call appreciative sex. So you come into the person to say thank you for everything you've been doing for us and all. And then you come in your lingeries. You're coming as a wife. Come on, what are you talking about? You're coming in your lingeries. You're coming in beautiful, and the man is like, wow, what is all this? And you're like, just to tell you thank you. Just to tell you thank you for everything you're doing. And you're stroking his head. So it's both words and gestures. All right? So it's important to make sure we go descriptive, and then we also include making sure that we have a little bit of the gestures included. So the singles who are watching now are beginning to learn that when you get married, don't just look at your husband and say thank you. No, you don't do that. You you want to be clear about what you're saying thank you about, and you also want to move a little bit to say, okay, hey, let me say, can I give you a hug? Can I hug you? Can I give you a kiss? Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. And of course, if you want to have appreciative sex, you want to say, okay, look, this night is about me and you, and this night is not about just having it. It's about me giving it to you to say thank you for what you're doing. That man will give his life.
Surprise. War again.
I don't know why Pastor Chinedu is acting that.
I didn't know.
I don't know why. So Yeah. So basically, for me, I want to say that it's important to learn to express appreciation, and you can't do it without doing it. You have to learn to start doing it in order to become better at doing it. All right. Is there a question I did not attend to?
No, I think you did justice to it. You slided from one to the next, and emotional baggage and the feelings, the unexpressed feelings. I think it's all very clear. I just could not help, smiling from ear to ear. I don't know what that was for, but somehow my thinking I'm being, well, it's okay. I'll just move, Papa, if you allow me to.
Yes, please.
Okay, so the next question says, I got married last year, December, and the marriage ended first week of June, I'm guessing this year.
I'm sorry.
I've tried to move on, but sometimes I still find myself thinking about what happened. I've gotten closer to God and been praying for God's mercy, but sometimes my heart feels very heavy. It was the guy that ended the marriage, and the issues we've had were issues I felt that we would have that would have been resolved. How do I get to move on totally?
Well, you're going through a grieving period. Part of what you're going through is a grieving period. You're going through your grieving cycle. There's what I call the divorce healing cycle. And you are already going through it. The challenge, the reason why you're feeling the way you're feeling is because you're going through it alone. So I will suggest that you look for someone around you that will help you go through what we call the divorce recovery cycle, how to recover from divorce. So I would suggest that you look for someone, a therapist around you, or you want to look out for a good marriage counselor or somebody who is spiritually equipped enough to be able to walk with you through the grieving cycle. It's important that you find someone to go with you through the process, because you will have flashbacks, you will have regrets, you'll have moments where you feel that maybe you contributed to the whole situation. I mean, there are too many things, and part of it is what you're expressing now, that it shouldn't have ended this way, and all of that, looking back now, and all of that. So you're going to go through all the moments where you blame yourself, where you feel angry, and but the process can be, the healing process can be faster if you have the right person walking you through the process. So I will recommend that you get someone on board with you. Don't try to manage this alone so you don't damage yourself. All right? Thank you so much. All right. I see some of the ladies. Let me start with Nke and I'll come to Johnny and Lona. Nke, what's your question?
Good evening, Papa.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Truth be told, right now, I don't know how to express how I feel.
Christine,
Well, because
come and turn on
today
this
I
audio and video.
I think
got my divorce.
we need to mute the bonus. Yeah. Go ahead, ma'am.
I got my divorce today. And
I'm so
I've been having
sorry
mixed
about that.
emotions. I don't know how to feel. So on my way back from work, I was thinking of maybe I should just go somewhere to just drink myself. I don't drink, but I think I just want to find a way to clear the odds, because I can't explain how I feel. This is what I wanted. Yes, I wanted a divorce. I got married for 7 years, and it ended in domestic violence. I had to leave because he used life for me. I've been separated for 4 years now. Yes, I wanted a divorce because his family is not forthcoming, and I just feel so bad that maybe I wish we spoke about it, because we've never spoken about it till date. And then I'm hearing gist about him and the woman that is way, way, way below my class that is living with him. I don't know, but I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to express how I feel. I don't know.
I'm so sorry about this. I'm really
like, even when the lawyer, I've been scared since yesterday, because I knew, I just made up my mind I was not going to go for the hearing. So I went to the bank, and the lawyer called me In the bank, I screamed like I was happy. But as I came out of the bank, it was like everything just dawned on me like,
Yeah.
am I free? Yes, I'm free, but this is not what I wanted.
Yes.
Like, I've always seen, like, I've always wanted a family, like, father, mother, children, under the same roof, eating together,
Yeah.
happy, doing homework.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm actually overwhelmed. Like, I'm doing the work of both a father and a mother, and it's paining me so bad that my son will be 6 or rather will be 7. There is no fatherly love because this happened when he was 2 years. So
So,
I feel so bad that, truth be told, like I just want someone to give my children this
I know.
fatherly love. And I can't, it's like I'm failing already.
No.
Truth be told, it's like I'm feeling that I am trying to be intentional about it, but it just breaks me.
Wow.
Been trying to hold myself, and I, I don't know how to express myself. I just don't. I don't. I'm sorry I'm crying. I'm
No,
sorry,
it's
but
okay. It's okay. Are you feeling like you regret the decision? Do you think you took the right
I'm
decision?
not feeling that. Do I feel I took the right decision? I think yes, I did.
You took the right decision.
Yes, I did.
You took the decision because you felt there was abuse, physical abuse. Is that correct?
Yes, I did. Yes,
Was there infidelity also included?
yes, I was. Infidelity was there.
Was
There
it
was emotional damage was there. He was denying me of sex at the time. Like I would practically cry to have something with him.
to beg him to give you
And
your due benevolence?
yes, I would like I'm crying now is the way I used to cry for it.
Do you think
And then
crying for what was yours, do you think crying like that was proper?
no, it was not.
Okay. And do you think that when he was practicing infidelity, um, was he apologetic about it? Did he say he was sorry or he felt entitled?
This was someone that at the beginning he felt apologetical. But what broke the camel's back was when he could tell me to my face that what is it doing that no man has done before? I should be grateful he got married to me.
Making you feel that,
Like
making you feel it
it
did you a
didn't
favor?
feel bad at all. Exactly. And it then makes me remember how my dad never wanted me to get married to him. I'm Delta, is Yoruba.
Yes.
And truthfully speaking, right now, any man that comes to me and that he mentions is from Oyo, it's a no.
I know.
Like I'm even scared to even get committed.
I understand that.
I'm scared to get into a relationship. I want a relationship, but in me, I am scared.
We will come
The
through.
worst is when you are even a Yoruba or rather an Oyo man.
Okay.
That is the worst of it. Like I don't want to even get close to any man that is from that side.
I get you. So thinking about the relationship now. So there was the entitlement. He felt entitled because I mean he thought he was doing you a great good. He did you a great good by marrying such a beautiful and brilliant woman that you are. So don't forget that. That's who you are. You're beautiful. You're brilliant. It shows in your articulation and your expression. So don't forget that in the midst of all that you're going through. So first, he felt he did you a favor by marrying you. Number two, and then he felt entitled as a man to sleep around with other women, right? And had the audacity now to tell you that there's nothing he's doing that other men are not doing. In which case, what he was simply saying was that he has the liberty to continue doing that kind of a thing. At what point did you decided now to say, look, I'm done? What was it that made you to get to that moment? Can you remember that day when you said, look, I'm going to the court? Yeah.
March 2nd was when we got very physical. Like he was beating me for like 2 hours.
Beating
He
you
was
for
on
2
me.
hours?
Yes, for like 2 hours. My kids were there. My daughter was about 5 then. Am I correct? Yes, I think she was about 5 years. My son was 2. And when he got out in life, I tried stopping him, and then I told him, "You're free to do whatever you want to do." And then when I dodged the knife twice. It was the third one that it gave me a cut on my hand, and I had to run out.
Wow.
My mom wanted me to that very night. I just had to go to my mother's house. I spent the night. Practically, I spent 1 full month in my mother's house. My mom called him twice. He never showed up. He never showed up. My mom even called his family, and they were like, they don't want to get themselves involved. So my mom was like, okay, maybe it's him. I should go back and let's see maybe if I can handle him or make him. And he was like, no, he wanted a separation. I remember vividly well the day we met in shop at Ikeja, and he told me that he's done and he wanted the separation. And I told him that, what about the children? He said, the children will be fine. But when they grow up, they will ask of their father. That he was, I should come back to the house because of the children, and he would leave. I made up my mind to go back after a month. Going back, it was like the worst. It was bringing the ladies to the environment. I was getting ashamed of walking on the streets. He almost ran me over because of a lady in his car. Like, the day I moved out of the house, I never planned for this. I just wanted to just make inquiries of, if I want to pack my loads, what will I do? But something in me said I could do something because it was already affecting my health. My BP was high. I was like laughing stock on the street. Everybody, of course, knew what was going on because I was bringing them to the hood. And then December 20th was when I left, 2022. Till date, we've never spoken about it. Never. Even when they told us to do mediation, composite conference, rather, he didn't say anything. I took full responsibility that yes, I searched his phone and I saw some things. Because funny enough, my instinct always tells me things. And when I check, it always happens. And when he drinks, he spills out.
Wow. Okay.
I left. We've never spoken about it till date. Meanwhile, is there both? It's paining me that he still even has the guts to even tell me that we both gave birth to these children, so the responsibility is ours. Like, he doesn't care. He hasn't seen the kids since April last year. Till date. So it's like I'm even forcing my children on him.
Wow. Okay.
And guess what?
Yes.
Just over the weekend, I just got to know that the woman is housing. It's taking full responsibility of the 2 children she has for 2 different men.
Okay.
And then for my children.
Wait a minute. He is taking care of the children that the woman he is staying with. He is taking care of our 2 kids who are from 2 different men. Oh my goodness. All right. So there is.
He's sending half school fees. He's sending 60,000 monthly for 2 children. Meanwhile, he knows this our Nigerian economy. Like.
Okay.
I saw the red flags.
You saw the red flags?
But I just said maybe marriage will change.
Oh. Wow. So you saw the red flags before you got into the marriage.
I did.
And you said your father also alerted you and said he didn't. but you just believe that if you get married, all of it will change. Wow. All right. You know what we're going to do? The first thing I want to say to you is you will be fine. You will be absolutely fine. That's exactly what we're going to be talking about. Number one, you are not going to do this journey alone. You're in Lagos, right?
Yes, I am.
Are you in the mainland or the islands?
On the mainland.
All right. So what we're going to do is kindly send your number to the number you will see on the screen. Send your number and just let them know that you are this person, and they will get your number to me. My wife and I will get in touch with you, and we will create a support team around you. We have our team in Ikeja. We're going to make sure we get a support team around you. And outside of that, you also want to make sure this time around you get your pastor involved in the matter. Trust me, you will need some people around you now. This is not a moment to think you are strong enough. And I'm so grateful to you for the fact that you behaved rightly. So you've even actually taken the best step, the first right step after the divorce, because there are what we call divorce recovery steps. There are processes you're going to go through from this moment. Part of it is what is happening. You wanted to go through it, you've gotten through it, now you've gotten the certificate, and immediately you are beginning to come into terms with the Father. Oh my God, what did I do? Is it the right thing I did? All of that, you're going to go through this emotion. It's like the grieving cycle when somebody loses a loved one. But at the beginning, it's almost going to look like, can I ever live without this? Am I ever going to make it through, and all that stuff? It is the reason why some people go to re-embrace dysfunctionality. They go back into the kind of bondage they came out from. All right? Here is what we're going to do. People are going to be around you. I'm going to make sure that we get one of our leaders in Lagos, in the mainland. They will be around you. My wife and I will give you access to our numbers. You are from my wife's place. You are from Delta. What local government are you from?
South.
Okay, so my wife is from Ugeli.
Otashuku.
So my wife is from Delta. So you're going to connect with my wife, and then together we will be with you. All right, we're going to go with you through the journey, and then you're going to create a support team around you. And if you need a psychologist, a therapist, somebody to go through this journey with you, because you certainly will need it, I can personally make available to you a therapist, somebody who is working in one of the finest hospitals here in Abuja. She can begin to interface with you online so that she provides that support. I have a psychologist, I have a psychiatrist. I can get them together as a team. They will be with you. You don't have to pay anything for that. All right? And then we're going to be talking about economic empowerment, because the next thing you need to do is to make sure you scale up your income so you are not dependent on what he sends or doesn't send. So you can accept it as a gift from God. The children are your greatest reward. So it was not a wasted marriage. Look at those kids. Are you not proud of them? They are amazing children, right? So that's a trophy to behold, and you want to dedicate yourself to raising those kids whilst you prepare, if need be, for another person. By the way, we are not ruling out the possibility that God in himself can give him a radical encounter, a very strange encounter, whereby he gets to meet with Jesus in a very remarkable way and knocks on your door, maybe in a day or 2, 3 days or 5 weeks from now, and comes on bended knees to say, hey, I'm so sorry, I've met with Jesus. And there are people to testify. A church he has begun to worship in can testify that, look, they know truly he has had an encounter with Jesus. With that kind of witness, you never can tell. God can bring him back. He goes, and this time around, he's going to go through postmarital counseling. Once he's willing to submit himself to postmarital counseling, he goes through anger management treatments, and they can certify that he has become better. Why not? I mean, you went to the court. I mean, we can always go back to the court and swear an affidavit to cancel what was done before. So there is still a possibility that God can touch him over the next 1 year. That is why the next 1 year is not a time for you to jump into another relationship. The next 1 year should be a time for you to focus on healing and bonding with your children. That's very important. God will help you. God will strengthen you. It's natural to feel the way you're feeling. But trust me, you are stronger than you thought. And how you're going to go through this period, you'll be amazed. You'll be amazed how God is going to see you through and how God is going to provide for your children. You'll never lack any good thing. Because don't forget, the Bible says the angels of those children are also beholding the face of the Lord. So the kids in your house have their own angels. And that's why somehow you'll be amazed how that sometimes you go out, somebody will just look at you and grant you favor, bless you with something you know. Where's that coming from? The God who is the father of those kids is the one sending you supplies to his children. By the way, children are not yours. You are the caretaker. Children are the heritage of the Lord. The fruit of the womb is God's reward. So you are only helping God to take care of his children. Don't you think if you turn to God, he will foot the bill for his kids? He knows how to make it happen. He will open doors for you to get raises at work. He will open doors for you to be promoted. He will he will do all kinds of stuff that will grant you the kind of income required to take care of them without even knocking on their father's door. There is a God who can make that happen. One woman in our church, a single mother, she raised 4 of her children. 4 of them went to the best universities outside of this country, and she slept with no man. She worked hard, and she was able to raise one after the other. Today, they are all graduates. So I want to let you know that there's still a God who can make it happen for you. And God will surround you with the right people. Is that okay? I see that you look better already. That smile is precious to all of us here. I love the smile. That is a Delta smile. God bless you. So make sure you reach out to us. Is that okay? I love on your kids. Anytime you think that, oh, I think I wasted, you didn't waste your life. Look at those kids. People are praying. People are paying to have such kids today. I'm even talking about those who are legally married. They are in prayer houses, trusting God for the kind of children God has given to you. The man may have chosen a bad way, but out of that bad relationship has come forth a sweet thing. Look at those kids. They are your pride. They are your joy. Invest your life into them. Raise them on behalf of God and watch how God will pay you for doing that. God bless you, ma'am. All right. Bye-bye. Oh, my goodness. Wow. Amazing. Oh, yeah. This is interesting. Lona, talk to me. Wow. I feel so emotional already. Yeah. Lona,
Wow. What? I hope you can hear me.
I can hear you. Amazing. Good to hear.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much for the great teachings we are having. Indeed, you are a blessing, and we bless God for you.
Thank you
And what
so
an
much.
amazing session we've had today. The question I have is from one of us saying, I am friends with a guy, and from our conversation, his mother left them with the father when they were very young, and their father was not so loving towards them. Sometimes you hear him say, people think my brother is more troublesome than I am, but they don't know that he's calm when it comes to me. When I'm angry, my heart is behind my chest. Which kind of, with this kind of revelation that we've had from your teachings today, I feel this person will not be safe to be with in marriage as there is always an offense in marriage.
Absolutely. You're absolutely correct. I think this individual should be taken to a place where the person can be properly cared for before this person does something very injurious to somebody. Somebody who can lose his temper, and when he does not have any sense of feeling, there's a likely tendency that such a person, of course, we are not just looking at a narcissistic person, we are looking at the tendency to become a sociopath, where I do damage to people and it doesn't really bother me. Or I will do damage and then I will later come back to, oh, sorry, I didn't even know what I did when I was doing that. So I think now that we've realized it, it'll be proper for this person to be helped, to sit with a therapist, someone that can help him through the pains of childhood. It's very obvious that this person may be dealing with unresolved traumas, unresolved issues from childhood, bottled anger, bottled pains, and all of that. So I would suggest this is a very important case. I think before somebody's daughter becomes an experimental victim, I think it's very critical that this person should be encouraged by any means necessary to visit a therapist that will be of help to him. Is that okay, Lona? Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much.
God bless you, ma'am. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Wow. All right. I think I should. Oh my goodness. Who? Ojone. Yes. I think that's the last person. Yeah, Ojone, what's your question?
Good evening, Papa.
You're welcome.
Good evening, Papa. Thank you so much for the amazing teaching today. We actually have a lot of our community. That's the Global Singles Network.
That's
And
good.
Lona is our rep from Kenya, the lady that just spoke.
Interesting.
That's our rep from Kenya. So the question came in from Kenya. Yes. Sir.
Amazing.
So I'm just going to take the two that are related. So this person sent in a message, and she is saying that she, based on your teachings, your previous teachings, she found out that her attachment style is anxious attachment. And she's currently dating someone for the first time who is also sharing the same attachment style with her. Now, this relationship is emotionally stable because she doesn't fear to lose him, and the communication has been great. But it's a very, very toxic relationship. But she has no insecurities of losing him because no matter what happens, he always finds his way back to her. However, on Saturday on the Global Singles Network, we had a discussion about narcissistic trait, and she has finally realized that the person is a narcissist. She is, though she's emotionally stable, but she is highly traumatized with the inflow and outflow that they have been suffering in the relationship. And all of this now makes sense to her. So her question now is, since he has the same attachment style with him, should she remain and try to fix things, or should she walk away? Because based on the teaching, it was said that people with narcissistic tendency, if they don't go through therapy, they cannot see that he's a narcissist. So what should she do from here? That's the first question. And then the second one I'm just going to answer it is, the person she's dating currently is always using trauma as an excuse not to handle difficulties in the relationship. He uses his trauma to avoid conversation. So how will she move forward with the relationships? Two separate people, but almost related.
The answer is the same. Don't use marriage. Don't use marriage or relationship as a therapeutic center. Don't turn your marriage or your relationship to a therapeutic center. And don't become an untrained therapist trying to fix your partner. Somebody already has an attachment style First of all, that anxious attachment style requires that the person be helped, because that is an attachment disorder. That person needs to be helped. There is a narcissistic tendency or disorder. That person needs help. Relationship is not the cure for any of that. Relationship exposes such. So relationship has come to reveal the attachment style. Relationship has come to reveal the kind of disorder, the narcissistic personality disorder that is prevalent in the other person. You should be thanking God that you have gotten to discover through relationship in its formative or embryonic stage. You've been able to discover this particular relationship patterns or attachment styles, and you've been able to discover this disorder with this person. Now, the right thing to do, if you claim that there is a bond, there is a love between mutuality, whatever it is, that you think, okay, this is the right person to be my husband, but I am concerned about these issues. Let the person go and get help. Let the person go through therapy. Let the person go through the necessary help, receive the necessary help that the person should receive. And when the person is sufficiently proven to be all right, then you can now talk about, should we get married or should we not get married? I want to say to you, never use your relationship to actually, sequester someone that you've already discovered to be having a narcissistic personality disorder. You will spend the rest of your life reading books on how to fix what in the first place you should not have accommodated. And like I said, nobody's going to give you a certificate for saying to you, you did well. We notice that your husband is a narcissist and you've been managing him well. For doing a good job, for managing a narcissist, we want to award you a certificate. You don't want to spend your life trying to do that kind of a thing. So my counsel to you, please, let him go get fixed. You are not the fixer. Let him go get help. You are not that helper. Let him go get some healing. You are not the healer. Keep praying for him. Visit him once. Sometimes you may even have to go with him. But let him receive the help. And then we can now talk about the fact that having received help and he's certified to be somebody you can continue with, then you can say, okay, let's give a try. And you don't go straight into marriage. You want to work together, relate together for a period of 6 months, just to be sure that post-treatment, that such a person does not still have proclivities or tendencies towards that same disposition. All right? So all the two questions, whether you're dealing with narcissistic issue, trauma, and all of that, don't use your marriage or relationship as a clinic. You are not a therapist, and you don't want to practice with someone you want to marry. It's not a good venture to get into. That's a beautiful question. Thank you so much, Ojone. And I love the beautiful shirt, Global Singles Network. For all those who are singles online, if you're not married, I think you better join that group. How can they find you? How can they connect with you guys? Ojone, how can they connect? Singles who want to connect with you guys from all over the world, how can they connect with you? I think she's not mute. She's muted. Can you unmute her? Can we unmute her?
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay, to connect with us, the number is going to be displayed on the screen. So you just send a message to that number.
Okay.
Or you check our Instagram page, Global Singles Network, and there is a link on the page. Once you click the link in our bio, it takes you directly to the page. To
Fantastic.
A tribe you want to be part of.
I hear there's a lot of singles there, single men, single women, and I hear that you guys normally display pictures of singles on a global scale. And I hear you have chapters. Where do you have your chapters now?
We have in Kenya, we have in Ghana, Uganda, we have in Trinidad, we have
Wow.
in the UK, we have in London, and we have in Cameroon.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much. Send our love to all those who are part of the Global Singles Network. And I look forward to connecting with you guys very soon. Are you having a conference coming up soon?
Oh, absolutely. We're having our conference for this year, November.
November.
19th of November. Is our
19th
annual
of November.
conference.
Okay, fantastic. It'll be a joy to connect with you then. All right, everybody, thank you so much. It's been a great day, Pastor Mbono and your precious wife. Thank you for being here with us. You've always been amazing. I want to thank all those who have worked with us and those who have, graciously asked questions. I mean, today's been a very, very touching and humbling day. And I don't know. It's just too many emotions to take out of this place today. Thank all of you who are online. God bless you all for staying online. We love you so much and wish you the very best as you take the time off from this program. Don't forget, tomorrow morning we're going to be spending time in prayer. If you've not joined us for the prophetic prayer hour, which runs every day at 6 a.m., where thousands of people from around the world come together to pray for healings, for miracles, for breakthrough, for marital settlement, join us on this platform, my Facebook page, YouTube channel. Join us every day, 6 a.m. West African time. It's going to be a great time as we pray together. I'll be back with you on this same program next week. God bless you until we see you again. Bye-bye.